Your dead grandmother didn't just show up in your dream last night to say a friendly hello. She came because your subconscious has ripped a hole in the fabric of reality, and she's trying to pull you through to the other side. Most people are told these dreams are just grief or random firing neurons. But that is a lie designed to keep you from understanding the true power of the human mind.
The reality is far more intense, far more dangerous,
And potentially life-changing. But the most bone-chilling part isn't the dream itself. It's the third message that almost every dreamer receives right before they wake up. It's a specific warning that I'm going to reveal at the very end of this video. And once you hear it, you will never look at your bedroom the same way again. Welcome to Human Factor, where we peel back the skin of reality to see what's actually crawling underneath. You've had that dream, haven't you? You're walking through a house you haven't lived in for 20 years, and suddenly, there they are.
A parent, a grandparent, or a best friend who's been gone for a decade.
They look vibrant, they look young, and they look like they have something urgent to tell you. You wake up with your heart hammering against your ribs, the smell of their perfume still hanging in the air, and a feeling of overwhelming dread or impossible peace. Why? Why does this happen to millions of people every single night? Is it just your brain playing a highlight reel? Or are you actually receiving a transmission from a frequency we aren't supposed to hear? Let's get one thing straight. Science tries to dismiss this as grief work. They say your brain is just filing away memories. But science can't explain the shared visitation. How can two siblings living in different time zones have the exact same dream about their deceased father on the exact same night? Receiving the exact same piece of advice? That's not filing memories. That's a synchronized event. That is a glitch in the simulation of life and death. Think about the sheer energy it would take for a consciousness to bridge the gap between whatever comes next and your sleeping mind. Your brain during REM sleep is the most advanced biological receiver in the known universe. When you're awake, your 5 senses act as filters, blocking out 99% of the universe. So you can focus on making coffee and paying bills. But when you sleep, those filters drop, the walls come down, and that's when the visitors come knocking. You might be thinking, but it's just a dream, it can't hurt me. Wrong. There are documented cases throughout history where a dream of a dead relative saved a person's life. Think about the man who dreamt his late mother was screaming at him to wake up, only to find his house filling with carbon monoxide. Or the woman who was told by her dead husband in a dream to check a specific floorboard, only to find a life-saving insurance policy she never knew existed. This isn't just psychology. This is a survival mechanism that defies every law of physics we hold dear. But here is where it gets truly intense. Not all visitations are benevolent. There is a dark side to this phenomenon that most spiritual creators are too afraid to talk about. Sometimes the person you see in your dream isn't your relative at all. It's a mimic.
Have you ever noticed a dream where a loved one looks almost right?
But their eyes are just slightly off? Or they're standing in a shadow and refuse to step into the light. In ancient folklore, these were known as shadow guests. They use the face of someone you love to gain access to your emotional energy while you're at your most vulnerable. If you've ever woken up from a dream of a dead relative feeling completely exhausted, like you haven't slept in a week, you weren't visited by a loved one. You were fed upon. You need to understand the human factor in all of this. Our brains are wired for connection, and death is the ultimate disconnect.
Our subconscious hates a vacuum. It wants to fill the hole left by loss.
But what if that hole is actually a portal? Quantum physicists are starting to suggest that consciousness doesn't end, it just changes state. If energy cannot be destroyed, then the you that makes you has to go somewhere. And if you go somewhere, you might want to call home every once in a while. Are you listening? Because this is where the mystery deepens. There are 3 distinct types of these dreams: The first is the memory loop. This is your brain just processing the past. It's harmless. The second is the telepathic bridge. This is the real deal, a genuine connection across the void.
You'll know it's real because the details are too sharp.
You'll notice the texture of their shirt, the way the light hits their hair, details your conscious mind hasn't thought of in years.
But it's the third type that should keep you awake at night.
The prophetic visitation.
This is when the dead don't come to reminisce. They come to warn.
And this leads us to the secret I promised you at the beginning. Across thousands of recorded cases of visitation dreams, there is a terrifyingly consistent pattern.
Right before the dreamer wakes up, the relative leans in
and delivers what researchers call the final directive or the third message.
This message is almost always 3 words long.
It isn't "I love you" or "goodbye." In over 70% of high-intensity cases, the dead relative looks the dreamer straight in the eye and whispers, "It is time."
Think about that. It is time. Time for what?
Time for you to change your life? Time for a major global event? Or is it a countdown to the moment you join them? People who receive this message report that their lives completely flip upside down within 48 hours of waking up.
Opportunities appear out of nowhere, or disasters are narrowly avoided. It's as if the dream was a software update for your soul, preparing you for a crash that's about to happen in the physical world.